Live from Planet Hollywood. It's Tuesday, 30 January, year of our Lord 2024. The crowd only gets rowdy. I want to thank, to start this off, I really want to thank Parker Sig and Rob Sig. Parker, where are you? Parker's right there. Parker runs the entire, and by the way, to help us on Lindale TV, the guys at Real America's Voice are always there for us. Parker Siggs is the best young overall producer. My producer Cameron's the best content producer. Parker runs the studio and the whole channel. I want to say, too, I noticed that the thing's gotten a lot more efficient, a lot more professional since you took over from your dad. I'm just saying, you know. Rob, you keep doing what you're doing, bro. The big picture, bringing in the big talent, the big stars. I want to thank Real America's Voice. Okay, we're here at Planet Hollywood. And by the way, here's the other thing I love about Rav and the team. Ben Berquam, who's gotten to be kind of a star, right, the last couple of years. Ben is putting down electrical tape. I mean, come on. He's all right. He's all right. Ben, you're fantastic. Don't ever change. Here's what we're going to do in this hour. We've got a lot of activists here. We're going to talk to people, find out what makes them tick, why are they here. Christine Caramo is going to join us. We have a fantastic artist who's going to join us, a MAGA artist. We're going to have some fun. We're going to see what drives us. Maybe play a few clips from my speech this afternoon, right, before they come and throw a net over me for being a little crazy, right? Was I too subtle today about Did you get the theme, general theme? Rana's got to go. It's nothing personal. Was that it? Thank you. You didn't have your number 2 pencil with you, right? It's not. It's like McCarthy. This is not personal to any of these people. This is because, you know, we've got to save the country. And that's why Speaker Johnson, you got to step up, Speaker Johnson. You have to step up in this fight right now. Look, think about it for a second. You guys have the most common sense because you are the inheritors of the greatest nation in the history of mankind, right? So that kind of collective republic, old republic DNA has come down, just like in the Roman Republic, you know, in Greece, Jerusalem, those kind of great cultural forces that our founders took from. So think about it for a second. And they never want to connect the dots on MSNBC or CNN or anything. They're all up there. You have a bill that, if this bill is passed, will literally change the country. Okay? This is a codification into law of an invasion of our country that 16 former FBI counterterrorism experts sent a letter to Biden and said, hey, this is the biggest invasion this nation's ever had, right, since its founding. In that radical plan, and it is a radical plan, the guy who in all the text is the guy that has to execute it they're marking up an impeachment bill for the first time in 100 years to impeach a cabinet secretary, and they're doing it on the fact that he is not executed on the laws that are on the books today. How dumb do they think people are? And they never, at the same time, a state, and Abbott's no fire breather, right? Nice guy, but he's not a fire breather, kind of a judge. But he finally had enough. The people in Texas had enough, said, hey, we're going to take this Texas property right here. We're putting up razor wire and no more invaders. They're not coming into the state of Texas. The federal government went down and went to the Supreme Court to get the ability to cut the razor wire and let them in and process them in. That's the other part while this is going on. And today, if you saw our cold open, they dropped the other bomb, which was that, we don't want to make an analogy that it's racist or anything like that, but we want to go back to, was it Orville Faubus back in the 1950s, where President Eisenhower had to send the 101st Airborne and federalize the National Guard, because that's the threat they're giving to Texas. That's the threat to Oklahoma. That's the threat to Kristi Noem in South Dakota, that if you send National Guard, we will federalize those troops and turn them against you, turn your own people in your state against you. It's very interesting. When Governor Stitz in Oklahoma the other day said, I'm going to recall our National Guard and I'm going to send them to Texas. They were in Kenya and Djibouti. What are our National Guard? We're defending every border in every country in the world. And three young patriots from Georgia, right? 3 young patriots from Georgia are killed on defending the Jordanian-Syrian border, tens of thousands of miles from home. And I think by tonight, I'm not so sure Joe Biden's even called the families, right? Just terrible. Let's meet some folks. Come on over here. Name, where are you from?
Ramon Bueller from McLean, Virginia, and I am a leader in the effort for the Keep 9 Amendment to stop the left from packing the Supreme Court. We know that packing the Supreme Court would be a disaster for the American Republic. We know the left doesn't want to talk about it. It's their biggest lie of 2024 that they're not interested in packing the court. And the best way to expose that lie is to ask any Democrat who says they're not interested in court packing, where do you stand on the amendment to ban it?
Okay, fantastic. One question. I know they want to pack it. They want to get more justices. 12. I'd like just to get the guys that we send up there as conservatives to vote the way they say they're going to vote.
And
just to pack it with MAGA.
The threat of court packing, the left is using the threat of court packing to intimidate those justices and corrupt the law. Now, if you had a bunch of hoodlums outside your house and they said, we're not interested in.
You think that's what's happening is the intimidation of these justices?
That's exactly right. If you asked a bunch of hoodlums, are you interested in burglary? And they said, we don't believe in burglary, but we don't want to outlaw it. You know exactly what they're going to do. And that's what Pelosi and that's what Schumer and, frankly, that's what Biden are planning in 2025 if they win, is to pack the court and destroy our republic.
So, okay, real quickly, how does this audience help you? How do we find out more? Our vast nationwide audience, where do they go to find out more?
You go to keep9.org, keep9.org. And you give us your name, and then we want to ask every candidate running in the country, where do you stand on the Keep 9 Amendment to ban Supreme Court packing?
Okay. One last question. Can we unpack Roberts? Do we get a mulligan? Do we get a mulligan?
What we have to do is free these guys to vote their consciences instead of being intimidated by the leftists in Congress.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you so much. Deconstruct the administrative state.
Yes.
Watch yourself. Don't. Okay, here's a hero here. Christine Caramo, how you doing, ma'am? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Now, are you over at the RNC meeting? Are you an official chair? You're not a chair? Are you officially invited? Are you just there over watching? What's going on?
So I am the chair of the Michigan Republican Party, and
right.
The RNC is attempting to usurp my leadership, even though the overwhelming majority of the Michigan Republican Party State Central Committee sides with me and wants me to maintain my chairmanship. There has been no change, and the RNC has decided to vacate the chair role and deciding to not credential me as a member.
They are not credentialing you?
No, even though I'm legally still the chair, legally control the party's assets, and they're just unilaterally making that decision after they told me they were staying out of the chair dispute. Even though overwhelmingly they've been sent evidence from our general counsel, our secretary, regarding the fact that I am still legally the chair, they're completely ignoring that in order to implement one of their pawns.
And what are they trying to do in Michigan? Who are they trying to put in?
Pete Hoekstra, who was chair.
But not Ambassador Hoekstra.
Yes. Yes.
Ambassador Hoekstra?
Yes.
I love Ambassador Hoekstra. I'm not sure he's the exact fire breather you need in Michigan right now, right?
No, and not at all. The reality is that
he's a good guy. Why did he fall into this?
Well, you know, the thing about it is the precinct delegates, thanks to the precinct strategy, elected me to be their chair. And what we want in Michigan is a grassroots leadership that ensures that as many people as humanly possible know how to organize at the ground level to take back their counties. That's how we save our country. We save our country at the county level. And the philosophy of, is not what the people want. That's why the majority of our state central committee stands with me and wants me to remain as the chair.
Okay, so what happens in the next 24 hours over across the street?
Well, the RNC claims they're going to credential us both as guests, even though I'm still legally the chair. Now Michigan has one less representative at the 168, which is a problem. I need to be credentialed as chair.
Okay. Where do people go? By the way, Ambassador Hoekstra, we love you. You're fantastic. You're one of the best big picture guys. You've done tremendous work for President Trump. But this is a grassroots fight, right? You need to be a grassroots knife fighter, not an ambassador, right? You're playing at another level. This is down and dirty. So he ought to back off.
Yeah, migop.org, MIGOP on Twitter, Instagram, and we're just encouraging everybody, get involved with the Michigan Republican Party. If you live in Michigan, take back your counties. We want to empower as many people as possible how our government works, how to hold our elected officials accountable, and make sure we actually elect constitutionalists. We cannot continue to elect people who betray us and go against us and collude with the Democrats. We're done with that type of Republican Party, and that's what we're doing at the RNC level. We're not going to tolerate this, because if Ronna can vacate my seat, your state is next.
Wow, amazing. Last question. Are we going to win Michigan?
Oh, absolutely, because we're training our grassroots activists of not just how to engage our government, but how to protect the election. Because if we don't protect the election, we will see a repeat of 2020.
Wow. Christine Caramo, let's give it up for her. She's a fighter.
Thank you, Steve, for having me on. God bless.
Thank you. I love you. That's a fighter. Ambassador Hoekstra, you're a great guy, and President Trump thinks so highly of you. But this is, these grassroots fights. These are fights. Yes, sir.
How you doing, Steve? Great to see you.
I'm doing great.
So I'm Commissioner Leo Blendo, and we were the first county in Nye County to do paper ballots. And guess what? It succeeded, and we had an election with actual results and integrity.
Hold on, hang on. What do you mean paper ballots? Was it same day? Walk me through the whole thing, and how'd you do it?
So it took the county commission, and we had to sponsor it, get it before the board. We had to vote for this, and we had to instruct the clerk to do this. And one of the things that came out of it was, you had overvotes, undervotes, total votes, and none of the numbers seemed to add up. And I said, well, why don't they add up? So I took Trump, and I said, I took that race. And I go, well, if the numbers don't add up for Trump and they're only off by 20, isn't that maybe the algorithm making just a small minor adjustment? But he won in your county. I said, yeah, but that's not good enough. It should add up. All the numbers should add up. So we did paper ballots. Our county clerk did a great job with it. Paper ballots. We counted everything. It was a monumental effort, but it was the first time. So now it just gets simpler. And if we can do it in, rural Nevada.
Did the community jump in and help out, and people were enthusiastic about this?
It was amazing. And we had tremendous volunteers. We had everybody just jump in. We have people here in attendance that jumped in.
Come on. Just watch the light.
Way to go, Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
So, Holly, you're a volunteer?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Well, it was interesting because they had 3 of us sitting at a table, and then we were triple checking, and there was people monitoring us, and yeah, it was very well run.
And it can get done. Tell America this can get done. It's not quantum mechanics, because they try to make it so complicated. But then you get the machines, tabulators, it's so complicated, right? It should be like the cash counting here, but it's not. It's got super sophisticated, all this kind of thing. But you can do the paper ballots. And how late at night did you finish?
Well, we were only there, I think, 5, 6 o'clock.
5, 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
that late. No, we
5 or 6 o'clock at
we
night?
were done. Yes, we got it done in a timely effort, and we had the results, and it was verified.
Okay, where do people go to find out more about how you did it? Is there a website, everything like that?
Sure. You can look up nygop.org, and we'll have documents to be able to give other county chairs in their respective counties to push their county commissions to do the same thing. We need the paper ballot. We need election integrity. We need to count the votes.
Do you believe that election integrity starts with a paper ballot?
I don't see how the internet's going to hack that piece of paper. When you prove that one to me, I'll be amazed.
Let's give it up for Nye County.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Fabulous.
Hey, Steve. How's it going?
It's going great now. Who are you and where are you from? You're a MAGA Trump, okay.
I'm MAGA and I'm Trump, and I've been that way since 2016. I was actually a delegate for Trump in 2016. And
To the National Convention?
Yes, from Virginia. I was on the Credentials Committee as well. So I've created a nonprofit. It's called Virginia Freedom Caucus. And the goal of this is to teach what a lot of what's going on here and get our constitutional Christian conservatives back engaged in the process and actually get them to run. So many times we've been bullied, badgered, and intimidated to be out of the party. And by the way, all the right people in Virginia don't like me.
I'm shocked. Now, when you say you teach people that the things are going on here, what do you actually teach?
Well, the one thing that I take away from this event today with Turning Point is something that I've been screaming to people in Virginia, and I'm hoping that it's starting to resonate. It's data, data, data. He who controls the data will control the race. And so a lot of times in Virginia...
But I keep hearing that RNC's put $800 billion into data. Is the grassroots or the people at the local level not see it?
Oh, here's what they do. So again, certain candidates will get data and certain candidates won't. And certain candidates may get data in Virginia, and it's all Democrats that we're targeting, not Republicans. That's a fact.
So when you say certain candidates get it, they hold it back from grassroots candidates but give it to the establishment?
That's right. And not only that, they control the data. So here's the biggest thing that people don't realize about data is when you didn't pay for it and you didn't sign the license for it, they keep your data and they can manipulate it and give it to the candidate of choice. And people don't realize that. So when you use the RNC data or you use any data, let's say you want to use Americans for Prosperity, I-360 data, if you do that, they own the data and they get to manipulate it against every door you've knocked, against everything you've done. They now know what you did and what you've said to those people at the door. This is the same thing that's happening in Virginia. And what we want to do with Virginia Freedom Caucus, and I'm excited for the opportunity to partner up with Turning Point, is actually not use that data anymore and have a real partner in victory for conservatives to be in the party where they're not going to be bullied, where they're not going to be badgered, where they're not going to be intimidated. This is how you do it, and you don't have to use their data. Especially, Charlie Kirk said yesterday that the GOP data is going to be all screwed up, especially in states with open primaries. P.S. Virginia has open primaries, which you know. And so you saw in New Hampshire, she got all these Democrats to come in and vote for her. She's going to be doing it in Virginia, and AFP is going to help her do it. We've all been getting, in Virginia, we've all been getting.
You mean Nikki?
Yeah, yes. Nikki Haley is getting backed by AFP, and we get all of
AFP is the Kochs.
That's right, the Koch, or the Koch, because one's no longer. But so at any rate, so now this is what Virginia Freedom Caucus is about.
So and you're going to teach people all over the country, and just not in the Commonwealth. Okay, right. Where do they go to get to Virginia Freedom Caucus?
Well, it started in Virginia, so it's virginiafreedomcaucus.com. You can email me at info@virginiafreedomcaucus.com. I would love to help get your candidates elected and show them how this system can work in your favor.
Fantastic. Let's give it up for her. It did start in Virginia, hat tip to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, but we were the first colony. We had the first Thanksgiving. The revolution started there, just saying. How much time do I have in this segment? Roughly? 9? Oh, we got plenty of time. You guys enjoying yourself? You had a good conference? Have you learned something? You guys are amazing. Do you think what you're learning here today, do you think with what you're learning here, we can win in 2024? Do you feel confident? You do? You feel confident? Okay. That's what I know. So you're feeling it. This is a good conference, good workshop. This just wasn't sitting there listening to people's war stories, right? You learned a lot here, right? And they listened. What do you mean? Come up here for a second. What do you mean they listened? Hold it. This is my photographer.
Photographer, chairman. I got a lot of titles. Well,
But first, who are you and where are you from?
Again, I'm the chairman of the Republican Party in Milwaukee County. My name is Hilario De Leon. I am a 23-year-old Generation Z chairman, first-time chairman. And again, we're having the national convention here in Milwaukee, so we're looking forward to that. Many people, just in politics in general, that we keep finding that we're talking to, whether we're tabling or door knocking, people don't feel listened to. And I feel that people in the grassroots movement are 100% feel like that that the establishment, people at the RNC, the donors are completely out of touch with the every single day American that are just trying to live their lives. They're tired of this Biden regime. And so when they had question and answers sessions going on, people were able to stand up, state where they're from, talk about the issues that are going on in their states or their cities, and asked very important questions. One of the questions I asked to Charlie yesterday was, the Democrats are really good at utilizing influencers such as Taylor Swift to get out the vote and get people connected with their local county.
Cultural figures.
Oh, yeah, cultural figures, just anyone that they can, get those people involved with their local organizations. And we have plenty of influencers in our area, in our conservative movement, if only they could connect.
Where people connect with you?
Yeah, connect. Oh, they could, if you are in the Milwaukee County area, go to mkegop.com, get connected with us. We need to build this army. Let's show the world, because the eyes of the world are upon us, especially in Wisconsin.
Are we going to have a great convention?
Well, are you coming to Wisconsin? Definitely. Well, we're definitely looking forward to having you here. We're going to have a great convention, and we're looking forward to endorsing Donald J. Trump as the future 47th President of the United States of America.
Are we going to – you've got to lose Milwaukee by less for Trump to win Wisconsin. By winning Wisconsin, he wins the presidency. Are you going to deliver a smaller defeat in Milwaukee?
Yes, we are.
That's all we need to hear. Thank you, brother. Fantastic. You know, one of the secrets of President Trump, he is a great listener. When you're in a meeting with him, he doesn't sit there. A lot of people like to try to dominate meetings. He hears everybody out. He loves the clash of ideas, right? He likes the tension of you passionately believing it and backing it up with data or empirical evidence. But he'll sit there and listen, and then he'll go away, sometimes make a decision in the room, often just go think about it, make a decision later. But he is a great listener. I think it's been one of the great successes. Who are you? Where are you from?
I'm Eva Sara Landau, and I'm from here, Nevada. And yeah, Donald Trump is a good listener just as you. So we're happy to have you here in our state. Well, I want to tell you something. Last year in a conference in Washington, D.C., a journalist from the conventional media came and said to me, do you think Mr. Trump going to win in 2024? And I said, yes, he will, just as he did the 2020.
All right. Their heads blew up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to go. So the lady said to me, no, he did not. Do you have any evidence? You cannot speak like that. And was live. So I said, well, do you know how many persons are in jail because they commit fraud in the election? And she said, well, that's your job. You're a journalist and you have to know the number of people who is in jail for commit the crime of rob an election. That's the evidence. Right? I come from a socialist country. I came 15 years ago to this country looking for freedom. When Mr. Trump said that he wants to be the president, I did my papers fast. I want to be a citizen to vote for him. One brick for me was to save one life because I'm a human rights activist. One brick is one life. If I have to go and put in that wall 100 million bricks, I will to save 100 million life.
But by the way, just a note, what do you think about this bill they're working on that not one penny in this bill goes to build the wall? This bill they're trying to put in, not one penny for the wall. What were your thoughts?
Well, I believe that everybody have to commit to do something for build the wall. No, in Mr. Trump administration, 96% of people, of kids, trafficking get down. The narco traffic come from my country, come from a narco state, Bolivia. I know where the cocaine come. That's come to here to kill our kids, to kill our people. And and I know that. So we have to commit to anything, to do something, because it's not just come here and speak with you. We have to do something, and we have to stop, and we have to speak, right? And you give us the opportunity to speak. You're our voice, and you give the microphone to us to speak. You was super in the 2020 working with Mr. Lauren Culp. That's why I came yesterday to say you thank you again, because you saw how they rob in Washington State election when the Republican Party has most red votes than ever in the story, and you follow that. And that's why we are so grateful with you, and we're never going to finish to say thank you, Steve, because you was every single day speaking about how they was robbing the election in Washington State. And that has to stop. Because guess what? I came to this country 15 years ago. Where you gonna go if we lose this country? Where you gonna go? Are we going to Canada? No. Are we going to Mexico? No. Where are we going if we don't save this country? I don't want to go to Israel. I'm Jewish. I don't want to go to Israel. I don't even speak Hebrew. I want to stay here where I defend myself with my English. But guess what? I came in the right way. Everybody can do it. Because this is an immigrant country, but has a door. This country has a door. We have to knock the door, respect the law, and turn in a citizen and vote Republic.
Fantastic. How do people follow you? Social media website.
Eva Sara Landau. Eva Sara Landau. EVASARALANDAU. I know it's a very Jew name, but you're gonna get it, Eva.
When are you going to run for Congress?
I will. I promise. Eventually, when I have to prepare myself. That's what I have to do. Because you know what?
I think you're note to self. I think you're prepared. Just randomly thought. Is she ready?
Steve, it's not just to want to be a run for something just for ego. You must to understand the Constitution of this country. If you don't know the Constitution of this country, don't even run and give the space to somebody who really want to do it.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Let's give it up. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, Fort Myers.
Yeah, Fort Myers.
How we doing down there?
Good. We're doing great. I mean, I hate to follow that. I mean, good Lord, right? But I can. So what I would like to encourage everyone is to get local, right? Precinct strategy, Dan Schultz, Everything that they're doing, we're really the grassroots effort.
This is what gets General Flynn is now all over grassroots to get local. This is where it all came from.
Yeah, absolutely. General Flynn actually, supported me in my run for chair down in Lee County, and we're really just trying to take the momentum that we've had from the America First, grassroots, and parlay it, across the state of Florida, but it's really getting local and getting involved. So one of the things that we're doing, is holding elected officials accountable, at our county level. We're county people. We need to focus on county issues, and we're doing that. And so now we've got elected officials in my county literally calling me up, asking me, are you going to primary me? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that?
Can we get how do people get to you about what you guys are doing on their website?
So they can visit us at leegop.org. You can follow me on X at Michael4FL.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. Tell General Flynn we appreciate it. Okay, we're close to taking a short commercial break. Want to make sure everybody. Did I get a show of hands? Because I don't have my glasses on, so everything's a blur in back of the lights. How many have read? Now, be truthful. Okay, I know a lot of you guys in school, kind of like me, sloughed it off. How many have read End of the Dollar Empire? Okay, how many are going to go home? Okay, right there. There we go. I like that. The printer got it with you. I'll sign that later, but I better not see it on eBay. Just kidding. A signed edition. First edition. Okay. Has that made a difference after you read it about thinking about things on the currency? Oh, wow. Wow. Well, even if you don't do that, just to understand. Okay, we're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to be back in the war room with the hardcore in just a moment.
With Stephen K. Bannon.
Okay. I want to take back all the good stuff I said about Ben Bergquam. Hang on. Hang on. We went to break a few minutes ago. We had a huge audience. They're all getting worked up, right? It's the best thing we've had live. Everybody's into it. It's empty now. I had Bergquam work the correct. No. Here's what's happened since we're live here. The Turning Point Action is having the final session. It's closed door, closed to the media. They're going to walk through the game plan, what's going to happen. So all the activists went, and I'm left with guys like from the Gateway Pundit and Ben Bergquam. Not that that's the cream of the crap. No, they're fantastic. Ben Bergquam would actually be on camera here, would break his huge contract. Rob Sigg would immediately send a cease and desist letter because he's a superstar of Real America's Voice. And once again, Parker, Harry, the entire team, Austin. How did we get, in fact, Cameron, how did we get guys from the actual Denver? How did Rob Sigg let the Denver guys come to Vegas? They may never go back, right? Not that it's very Spartan there. I want to thank Real America's Voice for helping us produce this the last couple of days. Really great. Great teamwork, guys. Just fantastic. The great Real America's Voice. So Parker, exactly. The thing's running so well now. Do we have Jordan Conradson? Jordan Conradson, come over here.
How you doing, Steve?
Hey, brother.
Hey, how you doing?
Now, this young man is one of the great reporters from one of the great sites, the Hoffs. And I can't announce it yet, but the Hoffs have got a new nightly TV show every night, 8 o'clock, that does a summary of the news.
Yes, that's right. We're doing the Gateway Pundit Beyond the Headlines every night, every weeknight with Ivory Hecker, the Project Veritas whistleblower who came out on Fox 10 in Houston and blew the whistle during a live news broadcast. So pretty exciting stuff over there.
It's amazing. It's a great show if you want to catch up on the news of the day. Now, who was the individual? You kind of came to fame. It was during, I think, the election recount or something. You were chasing people around with your camera. Getting who was it?
That's right. Katie Hobbs, the fraudulent governor of Arizona. I've chased her around a few times. Ryan Macias, the operative she planted at the Arizona audit, I was able to chase him down. Got nervous sipping his water. So, some pretty exciting stuff with election integrity that I've been covering ever since the beginning.
So, Conradson, you were there in 2020 in the toughest days, the darkest days. We're going through the counts in Arizona, other places throughout the country. Nobody covered it like Jim Hoff and the team at Gateway Pundit. What does it mean to you to come to something like this where you've got all these activists, and these are people who have already gone out on the limb, and now they're here, they're focused on 2024, they're focused on taking over the RNC in 2024?
You know, Steve, I really do think it's incredible to see how fired up everybody is and how, you know, I've been talking to Scott Pressler. He's flipped Beaver County. He's working on 2 other counties in Pennsylvania with true grassroots efforts, stuff that the RNC is not doing. And along with that, I mean, what I appreciate here is the fact that they were talking about election fraud. They had Mike Lindell, the whole Lindell team on, talking about the machines. As we saw on Election Day in Arizona recently in 2022, 60% of machines failed on Election Day. How is that a fair election? So machines got to go.
Do you think that we're sorted for 2024? I mean, you talk about machines, you talk about Arizona. It still seems like a mess. I know they're making progress. I know Kerry's team's on it. They just had this big change in the Arizona GOP. But do you get a sense as we transition from January to February, only like 9 months left, that we're ready?
I mean, you look at what they're doing with Trump. They're indicting him, 4 or 5 times. They're scared. They're terrified. And they know that we're paying attention. We're ready to go. They're not going to be able to pull 100 million votes out for Joe Biden this time. They're not going to be able to let it go off without a hitch, almost like they sort of did in 2020, but with all the left-wing media helping them out. But still, when 65% of Americans, or might be even more, don't believe that that was an honest election, don't believe that Joe Biden won 85 million votes, 81 million votes, it shows.
That's a joke, right?
That's a joke.
No doubt in your mind.
No doubt. Are you kidding me? A legitimate dummy. I mean, I would say the R word, but I don't know if I can say that on TV. But we've got Joe Biden, can't even put together a sentence. He's wandering around the stage. I mean, we see President Trump, our great real president, as Michael Lindell puts it. We see his impressions on the stage where he's wandering around. It's the funniest thing in the world, and America agrees. They don't buy it.
How did we get to you? What's your social media? Where do they go to get all your great reporting on the Gateway Pundit?
I'm on Twitter at Conrads and Jordan. That's Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I'm also on Truth. I'm also on Getter, Jordan Conrads, and Instagram, everywhere.
Fantastic. Let's give it up for Jordan. Thank you, man. Fantastic. One of the great things about this job, you know, we had the great Matt Bohl on the other day. Matt is, I think, the guy that's followed President Trump the longest with doing the best reporting. And Matt's the only person ever to be mentored by Tucker Carlson, Andrew Breitbart, and myself. Over the years, over a decade, I think 12, 13 years now. But it's one of the great things is to see. I remember, Berquam, I think we met you. You were at Tea Party rallies back in California, right? In the old days, right? Back in 2009, 2010? At Cigar Fest. Wow. But to see these guys like Jordan Conradson.
Yes.
Can you actually speak and not have your contract?
Yeah, I'm good. No, this is, you know what? This is it. This is a family. The beauty of Real America's Voice and Rob Sig is that he says go everywhere, just spread the word, shine the light. That's what we do everywhere.
No, Real America's Voice, I'm so proud of it. Lindell TV, it just combined. We all work together. It's fantastic. The job, can we give it up for this guy? Single best reporting on the border. I mean, we see what's happening in D.C. Here's what's great. You watch CBS and ABC and CNN, and it's so simplistic when you hear them talking about the border. Here, this little network with a handful of people have the most sophisticated reporting of the world of what you've gone down in the BBC like a year later, 2 years later, CNN. It's like the huge reveal. I said our audience knew this 2 years ago. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's not simplistic. It's pathetic what the mainstream media is. They have budgets, millions and millions of dollars of budgets, and they don't not only not tell the truth, they tell lies, intentionally tell lies. We were in a place down in Colombia and in Panama where it's just the jungle's been ravaged by the illegal invasion that's coming up here, destroying the jungle, and they go down there and do this sob story. Don't even tell the truth about what's happening, the destruction of the jungle, the destruction of these lives, of people being lied to, of women and children being raped, given rape kits, all of this. They are absolute liars. And I got to say, appreciate the love from you and the support from the posse and everybody that's been here, but also to Oscar Blue, amazing, Anthony Aguero, our entire team, Real America's Voice, and there's a few others. Now you're starting to see more and more and more people stand up, independents stand up. We had Joseph on yesterday, a rising star. All of these guys standing up to tell the truth because of the vacuum by the mainstream media. And if they want to leave that vacuum open, we are happy to fill it.
No, it's like when we started doing the dollar 3 years ago, or these guys were going to the border and doing that reporting. We knew what was happening to the invasion, and one day it would be a story that engulfed everything. So here we are. Yeah. It's the biggest story in the world. It's the biggest story in Europe, what's happening in Europe. It's the same thing happening here. The political consequences. Now Joe Biden saying, you give me these powers and I will close the border immediately. I mean, it's an insult to your intelligence. And what I love is we have a working class and middle class audience that has a more sophisticated and nuanced understanding of what's going on from Central America all the way up and through the world of what's going up than, quite frankly, people in Washington, D.C., right, in the Capitol. You guys get it, and that's why you feel so empowered to take your stand and say, over my dead body, right? We're not going to allow these things. We know it. You know, Langford, we know your lies. There's no longer you can play us for fools. We know what's in these bills. We know what's wrong with these bills, and we're not going to tolerate it. And they've never had that before. The apparatus in D.C. has never had an empowered, intelligence, grassroots movement of working class and middle class people say, we know what your games are. That was always what the consultants did, right? And they said, here's how you message it. Here's how you spin it. The people are dumb. They're not going to pay attention. They want to go do the bread and circuses. We say the exact opposite, and that's the power of this audience. That's the power of the posse.
Yeah, and you know, it's also, you look at this mismatch of people that have come together. You know, it's the forgotten class. Even myself, I come from I was a drug addict, alcoholic. I have a life before this. I was a business owner. I wasn't a journalist. I didn't go through journalism school. I just watched what was happening, and I said, these guys are lying. Why is nobody? I actually came from California, and I said, why is nobody going out and confronting the left? They're out here pouring blood on people with fur coats, and they're out here telling lies about what's happening on our southern border. They're out here destroying the ag industry that I grew up with and the timber industry that I grew up with, and nobody's holding them accountable. So I just pulled my phone out of my pocket, and I started doing it, and then we grow into this thing where we take over the world because the people see it that we're telling the truth, and those guys are liars. Yeah. It's an honor.
That was Andrew Breitbart, Citizen Journalism. Take it your phone, just do it. Thanks, brother. Fantastic. Let's give it up for Ben.
Honored to stand with you, Steve. Honored to stand with the posse.
Thank you so much. We've got an artist. Can you come up? Do we have Harry? Do we have the? Your stuff's unbelievable. You've got the Kabul, the Kabul 13, which is the calendar. But you've also got a tremendous amount of other art. You did some things for us today. You did some things for Jack Posobiec live. How do people get to your art? How do they go find out how great you are, and in particular, you're like the MAGA artist?
Well, Kabul13.org will get to me. Also, Alan Golub, G-O-L-U-B.
G-O-L-U-B?
Right, I'm on Facebook quite a bit.
You have a website yet?
Well, the website I'm using is Kabul 13.
Kabul 13. And people can get the calendar of the of our honored dead?
Yes, and also they can download the pictures of all of them. Because we wanted, just like Jack said, elections have horrible consequences. And when they said there were 13 service people, no, you killed Max and you killed Ryan. So the point was...
You personalized it with your art.
Right. So I'm known as the artist of heroes. I'm also the artist of villains. I was the art director for the Recall Gavin Newsom campaign in California.
Wow. We almost got that one. You think he'll be president one day?
Gavin? No, I think it's going to be Michelle. They're going to push Michelle.
Michelle Obama.
Michael. Big Mike.
Who? Big what?
Mike.
He went there. One more time. Where do we go? We're going to get your art up because it's amazing what you've done for us today. The speech, Posobiec's speech, is extraordinary. We'll get him up on the show tomorrow. But where do people go in the interim?
Well, Kabul 13 will get to me. .org.
And you live up in the American Redoubt?
I live in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Yes, sir.
Andrew Breitbart loved that town. Went up there and did a book signing one time. Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. Great. Thank you so much. Get to know this guy. This guy's going to be a big MAGA artist. We'll get it up on the show tomorrow when I've got some time to show it up digitally. Thank you. And thank you for coming down to Idaho. Do I have Brother Flynn? Now, everybody's coming out about the vaccine. The vaccine's a problem. It's a complete problem. You and your wife came up with a solution for this. And tell us why you guys did it, what you've been working on for, 13, 14, 15 years, and then where do we stand today? Hold on. Is that your wife?
She snuck in.
Oh, here she comes over.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Just had to play a hand of blackjack, so just ran in.
God, I love her. Is that MAGA? So tell us, how do you get into this? And particularly every day, Naomi Wolf's coming out with a story about the vax. You guys have worked on something that's a solution for people. What is it? Where do they get it?
Well, Well, our story started with our son, who is 17 now. He was born 3.5 months premature, and they gave him 5 vaccines at one time. So we've been dealing with this for 17 years. It's been through high nutrition and lots of supplementation, but that's what put us on this path.
When they gave him the 5 vaccines, I take it they didn't give you full information of that at the time as a parent or a mom. So that's your journey started then, that I'm not going to trust these people ever again?
Right. No, I mean, we okayed the Hep B when we were strong-armed to do that, but I hadn't done my research yet. So we okayed the Hep B, and they went ahead.
Well, how do you do your research? You're a mom that just had a baby, right? Premature.
He came
a little early. So that took your research time away. But how would any person know that? They're supposed to give you their best advice. You're convinced they didn't?
No, we inherently trusted them because they saved my life and his life. So that was, where we put our faith was in the doctors. Isn't that where we always put them? So anyway, we learned to do otherwise.
And that's been, what, 15 years you guys have worked on this?
Yeah, he's 17 and a half now, almost 18 years old, but we've been working with nutrition for about 15 years.
And I've met him. What you guys have done has been a constant program of nutrition and really understanding this, and that led you to other things, particularly about, you got very upset about the vaccine and particularly the spike protein, right?
I mean, what we saw happen to him, over many years, we saw happen to the rest of the world in a very condensed time. So the damage that's been done to people, at this.
Okay, so how do they know you're not a wingnut conspiracy theorist? Just for that phrase, when you say I saw it, what is the evidence to back up? Because right now, Media Matters is going, okay, Bannon's got 2 more kooks on here.
Maybe we are. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We spend a lot of time. There's a lot of science in the team that's behind this. But we talked to a lot of doctors even that have been on your show. And what they're seeing right now is people kind of fall into 2 categories. You got the jab and you put this into you, or you were around people that got the jab and it shed on you. And that's what they're seeing. And they're saying essentially we're all vaccinated now. Now the truth is coming out. I mean, I have a stack of info here on the truth coming out. You can just do your research. You can go to our site at warroomwellness.com. There's a lot of info there, but you can just go out and see what was actually in the shots, what's happening to people, the excess death rates. Well, there's different stuff. These are testimonials that I wanted to share.
Let's hear some testimonials because I want to hear what people are saying. But yeah, thank you so much. There. You hold one. I'll hold one.
We were going to hand those out, and then the whole crowd disappeared.
I know we had to send them back in for the. So 6 minutes. There you are.
You need it whether you've been jabbed or not.
There you are, Ben Berquam. Is that it? Do we need it? What was it about getting jabbed and getting the vaccine that you guys noticed? The early deaths, the sports stars dropping, the myocarditis. What was the thing that really drove you to say, "Hey, this is a problem, and I think we can fix it"?
It was before that. It was we looked at what they were saying and what the reality was, and they just weren't meshing. It was obvious they weren't telling us the truth. They were lying about the studies. They were hiding bad results people were having, and they were actually hiding about the fact that it was safe and effective because they couldn't even know if it was effective based on the very limited testing that they did on the products. So now what we're seeing is excess deaths are just going through the charts. Life insurance companies are freaking out. Don't let them.
Well, this is the Ed Dowd analysis and all the metrics in back of that.
Yeah, don't let them put COVID vaccine on your death certificate, or they will not pay your life insurance policy. So those are people that get paid a lot of money to know more about when you're going to die than you do. And if they see that vaccine, that gives them an out. It's an experimental drug. So if anyone's out there, we know you want to fight for the truth. If you were in that motorcycle accident and they put COVID on there, don't let them put COVID vaccine, or they're not going to pay you that. But what we do, Steve, is we're really looking at how do we help people. And I just want to share a little of this. There's a lot of information at warroomwellness.com. But what we have, I just want to go through a couple of these. Sure. Since you started taking your supplements, she looks much better. Before your product, she had a hard time getting out of bed. Here's a gentleman from Las Vegas. After taking Nocovidium and Restorgine for the first month, I feel rejuvenated, healthy as an ox, noticeable difference in energy, respiration, and joint pain. I shared your product with my doctor. He wholeheartedly approved of the formula, the science behind it, and recommended I purchase it.
Walk through. You've got a 3-part package, right? You can either get them individually or in a package. Why would you get all 3?
we looked at what we need to do to counter this, and there's a lot of factors that went into causing the problems. What we looked at needing to do is first you have to get the toxin out. So you have to remove the spike proteins. So that was our first product. And then we looked at the damage people are having. They're having clotting issues, a lot of these micro clotting issues just causing all kinds of damage. How do we fix that? So we have a product that goes in, actually helps break those down and helps repair that damage. And now you hear about all these turbo diseases, and it's
turbo cancers coming out of nowhere and being stage 4 right away.
People are freaking out, and they should be. They should be. It's you go to an oncologist's office. I was just talking to someone there. They've never seen their waiting room so full. Young, healthy people coming in. So
this was the lead story in the Daily Mail a couple of days ago, that the turbo cancers are overwhelming doctors, overwhelming clinics. They've never seen anything like this. To them, quote unquote, it came out of nowhere.
Experts are baffled is what, diet people are dying suddenly, experts are baffled. Sports people are dropping dead on the field. They can't figure out what could have caused it. The life insurance companies we talked about before, those increases started in mid-2021. So it wasn't when COVID came, it was when the shots came. So our third product helps to restore. It actually helps your DNA has a software that runs it called the epigenome. This actually can go in and help improve that and hopefully turn off some of those genes that might tend to promote things you don't want happening in your body. So it's remove, repair, and restore.
So what I love about your site, you immerse people in the information, right? You're there, hey, here it is, and that's what the people that come back to us say, I felt like I understood what was going on. So where do people go? You've got all the studies up there, because it can get kind of confusing, right? Like, I'm not this is not my line of country is what I say, but I know when I immerse myself in your information and start taking it, was absolutely unbelievable. So where do people go?
Well, it's super simple. So when you get there, our system is simple. It's warroomwellness.com, all one word, warroomwellness.com. We have special offers there. We have free shipping. Bottles as low as $29.99 a bottle. So we've really tried to price it to get it into as many hands as possible. It's warroomwellness.com.
So if people have questions after there, do they have a thing they can email you? How do they get a relationship or get some contact with you guys?
Absolutely. In fact, one of the interesting things we've done that not a lot of people do, I actually have people's credit cards have my cell number on them, so that if they ever have a question, they can reach out directly. So you don't do that if you don't think you have a good product, and that's where a lot of these testimonials have actually come from.
Yeah, how do we find you?
warroomwellness.com. All the information's there, emails there, phone numbers are there, and
Do you have social media?
We do on Twitter at NoCovidium, which is our main product. I believe it's the same on the others. If you go to our website, you can go at the bottom, and the links are there.
Thank you guys so much. Great fight you're fighting. Great fight. They did this because of their son. 17-year journey. Incredible. Thank you guys. Always love having you guys on. Okay, we're going to be back in the studio tomorrow. We're going to leave here leaving Las Vegas. It's been absolutely incredible what's going on here. A big shout out to all the folks here and all the folks that are in for the final wrap-up session. Lou Dobbs follows us here on Lindell TV. We're back live 10 a.m. tomorrow morning Eastern Standard Time when you'll be in the War Room. I want to thank Real America's Voice for helping us put this on the last couple of days.